Hi, this is Christina Presnell, and I am starting step 4 of the Knit With Me project, the top down, a basic rib socks for men. And in the first video, we set up our yarn, got our materials already. In our second video, we cast on and knit through the leg, the cuff in the leg. In the second video, we taught the heel flap, and that's where, or the third video. So that's where we're at now. We've got a very perfectly square heel flap. See, there's the back side. And we're ready to turn this heel. A lot of you are knitting right from one video to another, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to turn this heel. And the first thing we want to do is determine our halfway point. We're going to be knitting halfway across the heel flap and stopping to do a short row heel. And I'm teaching the round heel here today. So for me, that would be 20 stitches because I had cast on 80 for this pair. If you're doing the 72 cast on, then you would be knitting to 36. So I'm going to knit to that, the 20 halfway point. So if you're doing the smaller cast on, you would have 36 on this needle total and be knitting to 18. Go ahead and rock through that real quickly. Knit to the center of your row. Nothing special going on here, and this is where the magic starts to happen that turns a heel flap. Got ways to go here. And I won't count out loud because I know you're counting with me. And I do so appreciate you all sticking with me so far. No, that's not too exciting just watching me knit across, but there's a rhyme to our reason. So I've got 20, excuse me, across, and we're going to knit 2 more stitches from the center, and then slip, slip, knit. You'll see this written in the pattern as SSK. That means slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, and then knit those 2 stitches through the back loop for a decrease. And then knit 1 more stitch, and then we're going to turn our work. So that was knit 2, slip, slip, knit, and then knit 1 more. We're going to turn our work so that our back side is facing now. And we want to go back to that center. So how many stitches away from the center are we? 4, because we knit 2, we slipped 2 together as 1, and then we knit 1 more. So now we're going to purl 2. We're going to get back to the center. Purl 2. Whoops. You can mark that center if it's easier for you with a little marker or a piece of string. Knit 2 and then purl 2 stitches together. It's exactly as it sounds. So pick up 2 with your needle. Purl those as 1 stitch. So you got 3 there. Purl 1 more. Now you have 4 stitches on this needle. And guess what? We're going to turn again. We're not going to work these edge stitches, but one good check for you might be to count the stitches here against the stitches here. Make sure those are the same. You want those to be the same. So now we're going to knit to the last stitch before the turn. Do you see this gap? That will naturally occur. Look for it. As we knit back across, we're going to knit to 1 stitch before that. Okay, and stop. Then we're going to SSK again. Slip, slip, knit. So slip as if to knit. Slip the stitch past the gap. Knit those 2 together. Knit 1 more. And then we're going to stop and turn. Pull that tight. Pull that snug. Now you're starting to turn. You will start to see a curve starting. So then we're going to purl to 1 stitch before that gap. Before the last turn. You see the gap again? See it there? Looks like a tooth missing. Purl back across that gap. Okay, and stop 1 stitch before that gap. There we go. And then we're going to purl those 2 stitches together to close that gap up. There you go, nice and snug. Purl 1 more stitch and then turn. This will indeed form another gap, but that's okay because you'll need it when you get here. And then again, knitting to 1 stitch before that gap. Look for it. There it is. So 2 more. and stop. We've got the gap, slip, slip, knit, closing that gap by knitting those 2 stitches together that we slipped and knitting 1 more. And again, turn so that we form another and do the same thing. Purl to 1 stitch before the gap. Where's the gap? There it is. See it? Okay, you can see that in there. Purl our way back. And then stopping there where our gap is, and we're going to purl those 2 stitches together. Very good. Purl 1 more. And again, slip, slip, knit. And we're going to continue, or I'm sorry, knit across to 1 stitch before that gap. Then we do a slip, slip, knit to close the gap. So take you through that one more time. And you will see you're moving closer and closer to the edge. We're going to keep repeating these 2 rows. There's our gap over there, until we have used up all the stitches on the edges and we've reached the edge of our needle. So there's our gap, kind of sticky. I'm going to slip, slip, knit those together, then knit 1 more and turn. And again, we are knitting a round heel. It's called a round heel, and we're using short rows. Now, can you start to see a little bit of a curve there? See that? How it's starting to turn? From the back of your heel flap. We're going to continue in this way across, and I'll let you do that on your own. I will meet up with you for the next little clip. So go ahead and pause here while you work through your heel turn, and the next clip will show the gusset, picking up and turning for the gusset, or picking up and decreasing the gusset. So continue on with your heel turn all the way until you've used up the stitches on both edges of the needles and reach the end of the row. And I will see you back here shortly. So go ahead and pause now.